Freeze-dried meat. These are the most widely used foods in space, forming a large part of an astronaut's daily diet. The process begins on Earth, where meals are fully cooked and then frozen at very low temperatures. After that, they go through a vacuum process that removes almost all of the water content. What remains is a dry, lightweight version of the original meal that can last for months or even years without spoiling. In orbit, astronauts rehydrate the food by injecting water directly into the package using a special nozzle system. After waiting a few minutes, the food returns to a form that is close to its original state. This method is extremely efficient because water is heavy and expensive to launch, so removing it saves both space and cost. Freeze-dried meals also help maintain nutritional value, which is essential for keeping astronauts healthy during long missions. While the texture may not always be exactly the same as fresh food, many astronauts find these meals satisfying enough, especially when they are well seasoned and properly prepared. Thermostabilized food is flexible packaging that is lighter and easier to handle in space. Thermostabilized foods often include dishes like stews, pasta, and rice-based meals as they hold their texture well during the process. One of the key advantages of this type of food is that it does not require rehydration, which simplifies meal preparation. Astronauts can eat it straight from the pouch or warm it using onboard food warmers. The flavor and texture are often closer to what people expect from home-cooked meals, which can be comforting during missions that last for months. Over time, these meals have been improved to include a wider variety of cuisines, reflecting the diverse backgrounds of astronauts. Intermediate moisture food. These foods are designed to contain a controlled amount of moisture while still being safe for long-term storage. Special techniques are used to reduce water activity, which prevents bacteria and mold from growing. Unlike freeze-dried meals, these foods do not need water to be added before eating. They are ready to consume right out of the package, making them convenient for quick snacks or lighter meals. Examples include dried fruits, soft-baked goods, and certain types of dessert items. Their texture is often more familiar, which can make a big difference in maintaining morale. In the unique environment of space, wherein many aspects of daily life are unfamiliar, having food that feels normal can be surprisingly important. These items also provide variety, breaking up the routine of more heavily processed meals and giving astronauts something different to look forward to. Rehydratable food. These foods are specifically designed to absorb water again after being dried, making them one of the most practical and flexible options in space nutrition. Unlike thermostabilized meals, these items depend on the spacecraft's water supply to become edible, which integrates them into the broader life support system. Common examples include oatmeal, rice dishes, soups, and powdered beverages that transform into full meals once water is added. Astronauts use a specialized water dispenser to inject either hot or cold water directly into sealed pouches, ensuring the food rehydrates safely without floating away. To ensure even texture and flavor, astronauts often knead the pouch gently, distributing the water throughout the meal. These foods are important because they significantly reduce launch weight while still providing satisfying meals. They also offer flexibility in preparation, allowing astronauts to adjust temperature and consistency based on preference, which adds a small but meaningful sense of control in an otherwise controlled environment. Natural form food. These are foods that remain close to their original state with minimal processing, offering astronauts a more familiar and natural eating experience. Items like nuts, tortillas, and certain shelf-stable fruits are included in this category, although truly fresh items are limited. Tortillas are commonly used instead of bread because they do not produce crumbs, which helps maintain cleanliness and safety inside the spacecraft. These foods require little to no preparation, making them convenient during tight schedules or quick breaks. They also provide textures and flavors that are closer to what astronauts are used to on Earth, which can be comforting during long missions. Natural form foods are important because they help maintain a psychological connection to normal life, while still meeting strict safety requirements. They also serve as a versatile addition to other meals, allowing astronauts to combine them with different food types for more variety. Beverages. Drinks in space are specially designed to function in microgravity, where liquids cannot be poured into open containers because they would form floating droplets and become difficult to control. Most beverages are stored as powders inside sealed pouches and later mixed with a precise amount of water using the spacecraft's dispenser system, which can deliver either hot or cold water depending on the drink. Astronauts consume them through straws equipped with clamps that keep the liquid contained and prevent accidental release when not in use. Options include coffee, tea, fruit juices, and electrolyte drinks, providing both hydration and some variety during long missions. Taste perception there can change in space due to fluid shifts in the body, often making flavors feel more muted than they would on Earth. Because of this, astronauts tend to prefer stronger or slightly sweeter drinks to make them more satisfying. The preparation process also becomes part of a daily routine, adding a sense of structure to life in orbit. Beverages are important not only for maintaining hydration and supporting physical health, but also for offering comfort and a small reminder of normal life during extended time away from Earth. Fresh food. These are limited supplies of fruits and vegetables that are delivered to astronauts during resupply missions, and consumed relatively quickly after arrival. Unlike other space foods, fresh items are not heavily processed, so they have a much shorter shelf life and must be carefully selected before launch. Foods like apples, oranges, carrots, and sometimes leafy greens are chosen because they can last longer without spoiling under controlled conditions. Once they reach the spacecraft, they are usually eaten within the first few days while they are still in good condition. The texture and natural flavor of fresh food provide a noticeable contrast to packaged meals, making them feel more satisfying and familiar. Astronauts often look forward to these deliveries because they break the routine of preserved food and offer a small but meaningful change. Fresh foods are important not only for their nutritional value, including vitamins that can degrade in stored meals, but also for their psychological impact. They provide a direct connection to Earth, helping astronauts feel grounded and refreshed during long missions in space. Irradiated food. These foods are treated with carefully controlled doses of radiation to eliminate harmful bacteria, parasites, and other microorganisms while keeping the food safe to eat over long periods. This method is especially useful for meat products like steak, chicken, and seafood, which are more prone to spoilage and harder to preserve using standard techniques. The irradiation process works by disrupting the DNA of microorganisms, preventing them from growing or reproducing, but it does not make the food radioactive or unsafe for consumption. After treatment, the food is sealed in secure packaging that keeps it protected throughout storage and transport. Astronauts can eat these meals with minimal preparation, usually by warming them to improve flavor and texture. The goal is to keep the texture as close as possible to freshly cooked meat, which helps maintain a more satisfying eating experience. These foods are important because they provide reliable, high-protein nutrition that supports muscle maintenance and microgravity, where the body naturally loses strength over time. They also add variety and a sense of familiarity to the menu, which plays a key role in maintaining morale during long-duration space missions.